Imagine trying to run a marathon by just sprinting as fast as you can, like
Yeah.
never stopping for water, never catching your breath.
You just completely collapse.
Right, you'd collapse. But ironically, that is exactly how most of us approach our daily work lives. So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are putting Jim Loehr and Tony Schwartz's book, The Powerful Engagement, under the microscope for you today.
And the gist of their argument is honestly pretty provocative. They claim that time management is just, well, a total trap.
Yeah, the real fundamental currency of high performance is actually energy.
Exactly. So our mission today is to kind of act as your critical educators here. We're going to separate the hard biological science from the self-help hype so you can figure out what's actually useful.
Okay, let's unpack this. What is the actual framework they're pitching?
Well, the foundation is that high performance requires managing 4 interconnected energy sources. So that's physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual.
Right.
And to build capacity in those areas, you can't just operate in a straight line of constant output. You have to rhythmically oscillate between stress and recovery.
Like sprinting and then resting.
Yeah, they base this on what biologists call Ultradian rhythms. Just like you have a 24-hour sleep cycle, your waking brain actually operates in these 90 to 120-minute cycles of alertness.
Oh, so as you hit the end of that cycle, your brain just chemically runs out of steam.
Exactly. You naturally lose focus.
Which means we are biologically wired to sprint, recover, and repeat. But I have to push back on the main analogy they use because they spent decades coaching elite athletes, right?
They did.
So they argue we need to become corporate athletes. Honestly, an athlete trains 90% of the time just to perform 10% of the time.
Right, they get like a 4-month off season.
Exactly. Meanwhile, a corporate desk worker has to perform constantly for, 40 to 50 years? Expecting a normal office worker to operate like an Olympian just feels totally unrealistic.
I mean, it sounds absurd until you look at the reasoning behind that comparison. They studied hundreds of hours of videotape of these top-tier tennis players.
Okay.
And they realized that during an actual volley, the elite players and the lower-ranked players, they really didn't look that different in terms of pure skill.
Wait, really? Then what was the defining difference?
It was what they did between the points. In those 16 to 20-second breaks between play, the top players use specific automatic rituals.
Like what kind of rituals?
Like locking their eyes on their racket strings or adjusting their posture in a very precise way. And doing that dropped their heart rates by up to 20 beats per minute.
In just 20 seconds?
Yeah, they were aggressively recovering in these little microbursts.
Okay, dropping your heart rate on a tennis court is impressive, but translating that to a cubicle is the real test here. Does this actually work in an office, or is this just speculative?
No, there's actual factual workplace data for this. They ran a study with Wachovia Bank. They put a group of employees through this energy renewal program. And in just 3 months, those energy-trained employees outperformed a control group.
By how much?
By 13 percentage points in loan revenues.
Wow.
And a massive 20 percentage points in deposit revenues.
That is huge. And what's crucial is how they did that, right? They weren't just like staring at their spreadsheets harder.
No, not at all.
They were taught to step away from their desks every 90 to 120 minutes. They drank water, took short walks, or did brief breathing exercises to literally flush the stress hormones out of their bloodstream.
Right, before making the next client call. They were simulating that 20-second tennis court recovery at the office.
It makes sense.
And that physical foundation is backed by some really robust external science, too. They cite Charles Czeisler's Harvard research showing that sleeping less than 6 hours functionally impairs your brain just as much as total sleep deprivation.
Because your brain literally cannot clear out the neurotoxic waste products when you don't sleep, right? The cognitive processing physically jams up.
Exactly.
But wait, if the sleep and recovery science is so biologically sound, why do some of their specific claims feel a bit pseudoscientific?
What do you mean?
Well, the book lays out this really rigid rule that you must drink exactly 1.9 liters of water daily. They claim you're secretly dehydrated before you even feel thirsty.
Right.
But outside scientific perspectives, like the Science V's deep dive into hydration, they've heavily disputed that whole 8 glasses a day rule as basically an unverified myth. Your body's thirst mechanism is actually incredibly accurate.
Yeah, that's a fair pushback,
Yeah.
and it highlights the limits of the book's framework. You have to separate the hard facts from their personal synthesis.
Right.
Like the 4-dimension energy pyramid itself, layering physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energy, that is not a peer-reviewed scientific taxonomy.
It's just their own intellectual model for organizing their ideas.
Exactly. The individual components, like the sleep neurology, are deeply factual. But the strict pyramid structure and some of the specific dietary rules remain pretty speculative.
So what does this all mean for you listening at home? The core message is still a profound shift in mindset. Stop obsessing over managing every minute of your time and start managing the quality of your energy.
Yeah, the oscillation principle, sprinting with full focus and then genuinely recovering, is highly convincing and factual.
And the most realistic takeaway isn't to force some rigid pyramid onto your life. It's to build automatic positive energy rituals. Because the book notes that up to 95% of our behavior is unconscious.
Right? If you have to use mental willpower to remember to take a break, you will fail. You have to make the recovery habits completely automatic.
Just like the tennis player looking at their strings.
Ex-
So we want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. If 95% of your daily actions are purely automatic, think about the habits running in the background right now. Are your current unconscious routines silently draining your most precious resource, or are they replenishing it?